He was the last king of the Sikh Empire, and now his story being told on the big screen.
I was taken away from her. I wish to see my mother. I have questions that remain unanswered.
I understand.
Please make this possible.
Message into Punjab.
The film called The Black Prince, and it tells the true story of the last king of Punjab and his journey to regain his kingdom. Satinder Sartaaj plays the leading role, and Kavi Raz wrote and directed the film. They both join me in studio. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you.
This is an incredible story, and it is gripping from beginning to end. Kavi, it's such an incredible tale that people probably don't know. In the Sikh community, I think it's very well known, but outside of that community, it wasn't a story I'd ever heard before. Well, why did you choose to tell it?
You'd be surprised, even within the Sikh community, it's not that well known.
Really?
There are a lot of, whatever is known about Maharaja Dalip Singh, the last king of Punjab, there are a lot of misconceptions about him, a lot of untruths, so to speak. That was one of the main reasons that I wanted to do this film, is I wanted to tell the truthful story of who Maharaja Dalip Singh was. And I have a personal connection to him as well. I was born in Punjab, even though I was raised in England. And having lived in England my early part of my life, I heard a little bit about him, not so much. We knew he died in England. He was buried at Alberton Hall. And I grew up in a small town called Leamington Spa. And each year there used to be an excursion from the local temple. A bus would go to pay homage at his grave.
Wow.
And that's about all I knew. So it was a sort of an eye-opener for me as well, researching for this film, doing this film. And it's just an amazing story of a man who's trying to come to terms with his own life, and sort of a soul-searching journey of his own life as well, and reconnect with his past and regain what was lost.
Regain what was lost, and Satinder, you play the main role. This is your first acting role, and it's not a little role. This is an international film.
Oh, goodness.
You mentioned backstage, it's been a little bit overwhelming.
We screened and premiered this film like on the entire globe. Like there are lots of film festivals going through, and especially Cannes Film Festival. I'm honored to being the first urban Sikh guy from India who represent India on the red carpet.
Wow.
And it was so honoring and overwhelming. I bowed to everybody there, and they were just clicking pictures. It was so new for me, because the film world is entirely new thing for me, because previously I was a composer, a poet and singer and performer. But as an actor, this is my first debut, and it's a huge amount of responsibility and burden on your shoulders, because I'm a representative of my culture and language, and people consider me like that. So it was my duty. Like, everything should be accordingly. History shouldn't be distorted. What we are portraying or shooting, it should be happened actually. So in history, in the research, I was involved a lot. I've been through, like, I personally visited to, like Kavi said, to Alberton Estate, his grave, where he died in Paris. There's a small hotel. I went there, and there's huge, many things in England, like Punjabis and Sikhs have his personal things, like his purple jacket and his, sword, his Bible, and all those things. So I have to feel those things and to be in the character. So it was so beautiful, and it went so beautifully, and I'm thankful to the audience, and they are, they're giving so much beautiful compliments, and it's very honoring.
I can imagine. Kavi, you had a specific reason for picking Satinder for this role.
A number of reasons. He's very intelligent, very sensitive, and I think that was one of the things that required for the role. And he looks like Maharaja Dalip Singh.
He does. Well, we just showed a picture. Can we bring that picture back up to our control room? Look at
look at it.
You were born to play this role.
He was born to play this
I was
role.
destined, actually.
Wow. Satinder, for you, you mentioned your background with music. The foray into acting for you, how does it compare?
I was getting offers for films from 2009, because Toronto is the city where my stardom starts. I came here in 2009 and did 18 sold-out shows here.
Wow.
Yeah, and after that, I was quite very, known in the community and outside even. And but in Northern California, and especially in Los Angeles, there's a huge and very responsible educated and influential community of Sikhs. And they have a very great connections to the Los Angeles film industry. And when Briston Entertainment partners Los Angeles, the production house of this film, like the same production house from the 12 Years a Slave, the Oscar-winning film, the same production house produced this film.
Wow.
And they need some historians on board, and because they want like the history should be correctly portrayed. And when the historians came, and they referred my name also, like there's a guy who had 90 or 92% resemblance with Maharaja Dalip Singh. He is quite famous, and he is very concentrated and focused person. He can do that. So, but performing art, this is also a performing art, but this is an entirely different art. Singing it's yourself. It's you're a poet, you're a composer, you are singing your songs. But here you are not you are, and here's your Maharaja Dalip Singh. You are portraying someone else, and like in 1850s, and he's the royal. He lived in Buckingham Palace and very dearest to Queen Victoria. So that mannerism, that aristocratic English-British gentleman, you have to maintain that, body language, and your tone and your eyes should be very, subtle and all that. It was so tough, but yeah, I learned a lot with this film, and thankful to Kavi ji and the entire crew.
Yeah, well, we're thankful that you were in the film, and I encourage everyone who's watching this morning to make sure they check it out. The Black Prince hits theaters next Friday. Thank you for being here.